Me and my previous co-founder, we actually applied to YC twice. And the first time we got an interview, got rejected. Then we worked on the idea more, which evolved from the chatbot to an app builder, like a Notion style app builder. And then we got in. We were working basically just 24/7 nonstop. We were just working all day, but that kind of also clouded our vision. Building is not the bottleneck anymore for teams, right? Before, maybe like technical capability of a team could be a mode, but right now, building is not the bottleneck, it's not the mode, it's the distribution, right? You should always be thinking about and get anxious to hop on a call with your customers.
Maybe we can introduce how we met each other first.
Yeah.
And then we can go start from there.
Yeah, sounds good. So I moved to Tokyo earlier this year, officially in February. But I didn't really get really active until maybe April because I was in San Francisco for a bit. And then I went to one of those hackathons, and that was one of the biggest one, hosted by Revenue Cat.
Revenue Cat, yes.
And that was in Kawasaki, which is at the time I didn't know that was a co-working space. And so we met there. We were not on the same team, but we kept in touch after the event. We grabbed dinner, we grabbed drinks. And then, we just have a lot of ideas around like no code, building with AI, and also just in general, feeling the startup scene in Japan. I learned a lot from you, from your past experiences. So that's how we met.
Yeah. So it's a very great place to meet many new people.
Yeah.
Especially in the hackathon, I think. It's a great place. So I noticed we are both lived in global.
Yeah.
And in Tokyo, you born in Melbourne?
Oh, no, I was born in China. I grew up in Melbourne.
Grew up in Melbourne, and then you went to UK and then to the US. I know you entered the YC in 2024, right?
Yep.
So maybe you can just a little bit introduction about your background.
Yep. So I guess high school probably doesn't matter. In undergrad, I was in UniMel. I studied actually economics. So during the undergrad, I actually did an exchange in Japan. I think that's how it started, with me wanting to move to Japan at some point. But then right after graduation, I worked at consulting for a year. During that time, I just realized I really wanted to do more tech, specifically at the time, design. So I prepared for like a year and I applied for a master in the UK. Got in and went to UK pretty much right before COVID. So I did 2 years master there, design engineering. Right after that, I started working in London. I guess most notably, I was at Snapchat for a couple years as a designer. So I was mainly focusing on designing the experiences for 3D engines, like game engines. And then I quit my job because I wanted to do my own thing. And also on the side, I was also teaching. At the time, it was a hobby for me to create tutorial videos on no-code tools. And then I also did workshops at unis at the time as well, but at the time, it was just a hobby. It turned to a point where I have enough leads to do freelance work for other people to build apps for them. And at the time, Snapchat kind of went through a very harsh time, and I was really burnt out. So I decided just to quit and do my own thing and explore opportunities to one day definitely start up my own startup. The idea was if I do enough contracting work, I would know what kind of product to build. And that's got to the first startup idea, which I got into YC Weeks, which is at the time chatbot was hot, right? So it was like no code chatbot builder.
No code chatbot builder.
Yeah. Chatbot, and then it slowly evolved into like a no code app builder, but in a Notion style editor. So it didn't really work out because right after we got into YC, AI coding started to hit the vantage point to really grow and get really good, right? Mm. And so what I didn't do well was I thought there was enough time for us to build out the visual editor first and then think about the coding part. But that was not the case. So things grew super fast, and then basically we just got left behind and basically ate dust. So we stopped that idea, pivoted into 3D. So we were doing 3D generation and texture generation. And then earlier this year, if personal reason, I decided to leave my company and then I moved to Japan to, right now I'm just a solo founder, indie hacker, building my new software. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, there are many things happening actually in your life.
Yeah.
I know that you and me are kind of like similar persons, like who are not really like the way of working for a big corporation, the kind of work. So what triggers you to do your individual entrepreneurial startup stuff? What is the trigger for this?
I think initially I wasn't super against the idea of working at a big tech company. That's why I joined Snapchat. But I'm actually very interest-driven person. So if I'm working on something that I'm not really interested in, I quickly burn out. And that's what happened. But working at a big corporation, you can't avoid it, that you'll be repurposed to different projects. So that's what happened to me. And then that's when I started to wanting to do my own thing. And also at the time I had a lot of ideas, opinions on how no-code loaders should be done. So that led to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start my own business. Yeah.
So how long was that? How many years you've been working in the company?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. And you figure out something you want to do.
Yeah, in total, my work experience is not like super long. It's not like I stayed in the company for 10 years and then I decided to leave. So thankfully, I guess I figured out what I wanted to do quite quick. Yeah. So
it's interesting. So I noticed that because you work in 3 years and then you figure out you want to do your own stuff. And then what brings you to the YC, I think? Because I know that YC is not something very easy to apply. Many of us are here in Japan, like many startup founders, they don't even want to try YC because maybe a big competition there. So what brings you thinking about going to the US?
So me and my previous co-founder, we actually applied to YC twice. And the first time we got an interview, but got rejected. And then we worked on the idea more, which evolved from the chatbot to an app builder, like a Notion style app builder. And then we got in. But during that time, actually, we were in SF already. We were kind of trying to raise money from different people, but didn't get any check. And then we got into YC during that time. So I would say definitely try. But at the time, the reason why is just we needed to raise some fund because we both needed the money to survive, to kind of keep this startup journey going. I think that's the main driver, and YC was just the most.
So you said when you are in the US, you already in the US, when you are building this no-code chatbot with your co-founder.
Yeah, so at the time, I can't at the time, it was already a Notion style document editor for building apps. But we went to SF for like a month, specifically to network.
Before knowing you are going to be accepted by the YC?
No, at the time we just submitted our application. We didn't know if we were going to get an interview.
Okay.
And then during that trip, we actually did our interview in our hotel room. And then got in that's interesting. Yeah. So at the time we were already like trying to raise some money, but failing at it.
That's very interesting story.
Yeah.
So how is the YC? Because everyone talking about it is very, very hard and how to say, what challenges to be the most unforgettable moments?
Okay, I think it was the intensity. We were working basically just 24/7 nonstop. Other than going to office hour with our partner, other than going to the events, the talks, we were just working all day. But that kind of also clouded our vision a little bit. We're just working, coding, designing all day. But both of us, which majority is kind of I didn't do really well at outreaching, trying to do more sales. It was always kind of like, oh, we need to build these before it's even a good product. We need to build these, build that. So we didn't really do a good job at actually doing a lot of sales, doing a lot of validation on our product during that time because it felt really intense. And we were just working really hard, but in the sense that sometimes it's directionless. We thought we had a direction, but it was actually a lot of wasted work. So if anything, I would say, yeah, do things that don't scale. And then we eventually did, but then it was just not very scalable and not very good. And then we pivoted. I don't think we did a really good job at like following YC's advice, and also didn't do a good job at actually doing the sales and marketing. We were just like a typical team that's like really good at building. Like we build things really fast. But that's also our comfort zone. We like to be building. So it felt really productive at the time, but actually didn't really move the company forward. So that's our experience. So we were not the best performing companies at all. And we were, at demo day, we're not like the hardest company that investors would just go at you and then be like throwing money at you. No, definitely not. Yeah.
So to reflect your experience at YC, that you're thinking about just building is not really something you should do. You should, as a startup founder, what do you recommend?
I think especially right now, like building is not the bottleneck anymore for teams, right? Like before, maybe like, can your team build a technical capability of a team could be a moat, but right now building is not the bottleneck. It's not the mode. It's the distribution, right? You should always be thinking about distribution and get interest to hop on a call with your customers. I think that's very, very important. We didn't have enough conversation with the actual customers. That was a problem. And also create something fast, but put a paywall to it. The quickest way to figure out someone wants your thing is to ask them to make. So yeah, to recap, I think right now, even myself, the way how I would approach it is actually distribution for like marketing first approach. Use marketing as basically widen up your top of the funnel, try to get people to hop on a call with you, and then think about what to build. So what to build is more important than how to build it right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you say like what to build is so important, I know there are some other like people like have to create something like a demo or something. You don't really need the product, but you need like a demo video
Yeah.
or something. Do you see that something also happening in your batch?
Yes. I think we were too prosumer in the sense that we focus a lot about, can these be self-serve? We did a little bit of really manual work, but yeah, we were always focusing too much on self-serving. But I think a lot of the best performing companies, they actually pop on a call, seal the deal, and actually do the implementation in a very, I would say, unscalable way, but that's the right way to do it. And then they progress on their product as they build features for existing customer who are actually paid customers, right? So yeah, I think that was a lot of the best companies that,
Okay. So is that you find people in YC who are good performing? Are they using any outsourced or freelancing to help them, or mainly they do themselves?
I think at the time, hiring was not many companies focused. They could have contractors. Like there was one company we were building landing pages for at the time. Yeah, they do have contracting designers. But at the time, I don't think anyone really focused on hiring. It's mainly the core team that did all the work. Yeah.
So you still need to have your capability of building.
Yeah.
But you don't need to really focus it on the building at the beginning. You need to like really think it through, talk to your clients, know what to build, and then you build the product.
Yeah, I think it depends on the phase of your company. Like some companies going to YC, they already had revenue, then yeah, for them it's scaling and then also focus on building, polishing the UX. But for us, it was not even kind of validated, right? Like we had a couple, but I don't think that's enough to really validate, okay, this is the product we should be polishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for now, if you want to do the marketing and do the sales funnel, what kind of your country practicing and what proved to be useful to you?
Yeah, I've been learning, also practicing. Like I think it's a muscle that I currently don't have, which I need to train as well. So for my case, I think I would focus on more YouTube, providing more values in terms of how to build apps, and then get people to have conversation with me on their use cases, specifically in the generative AI space. and then move from there to know how, what kind of solution they are looking for, what kind of use cases, then how I build my product. So yeah, creating a lot of educational content and also creating a lot of behind the scenes content to build trust. So basically building a personal brand. I think like personal brand right now is a strong mode for startup founders. So that's currently what I'm thinking. But I also did a lot of research on TikTok, but I don't think that applies to my business. I think if you're a consumer app, then TikTok is probably the best funnel, top of the funnel for you. And yeah, and Instagram, I'm also starting to post more carousels. I think that's like the thing to do right now. But yeah, my focus will be mainly on YouTube. Yeah.
Interesting. Like I saw your YouTube channels. There are many tutorials once you did some for Flow.
Yeah.
I know because I'm also very actively training designers and marketers, are also learning Flow as a no-code tool to build the startup idea themselves. I think no-code is something cool, like everyone can try with. Nowadays, you have the AI to give it a further go.
Yeah.
But the AI has its own limits as well. If you want to build something really solid,
Yeah.
probably you need to have a solid prompt to direct it.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion about the AI nowadays? And I like you mentioned about no code. So, do you think that the two things gonna be exist together, or one gonna be disappear? What's your opinion about that?
I don't think no code is gonna disappear. Because AI is just one modality of building a software, right? I think I look at it as a different abstraction level of the underlying tech. So I think with no-code builders, they abstracted in a drag and drop way. And for example, Airtable, they basically abstracted database into a UI, then users can understand data type very easily, can understand relational database very easily. So these are just different abstraction level. And then for different users, they have different mental model. So I don't think the UI, the graphical UI is going to disappear. And I guess, in my opinion, actually using no code or a low code tools, which with a visual abstraction layer, is a great way to actually learn. Because I pretty much initially understood relational database or data type with Airtable, with Notion. And then when I transitioned into Flow, it became really easy for me to understand how that works. And then, for example, I was a designer. So I already have the understanding of how to, basically I have the right vocabulary to describe this, for example, the CSS for describing the component. So I think using no code as a way to learn the right vocabulary will help you to become a better prompter, which eventually will help you to be better at building with AI. So I think it's kind of like how people are teaching other people how to use like image generation prompt is the same. It's like most people don't know how to prompt because they don't have the right vocabulary. So I think no code is a great way to learn the right vocabulary. Yeah.
If you want to be a designer directing the AI to create a masterpiece for an image, you need to be a good designer first.
Yep.
And the same thing happens for like you're building an app. You need to at least be able to build an app yourself with no-code tools to understand the basics. Then you can direct AI to do something similar and much faster.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep. So we have talked about no-code, talked about AI. And now you are in Tokyo. So, because your story is like from Melbourne to UK to US and now in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So why specifically Tokyo? And because I think moving to a new place is really a decision you have to make.
Yeah.
What brings you here?
So, well, a big part is actually I felt my exchange program was a bit too short at the time. So I came here for like 6 months. And I always had the feeling that I wanted to try to live in Tokyo a bit longer. Also at the time, I wasn't even in Tokyo, like the main area. I was outside. I was in Saitama, Kodairashi. And so it was kind of like a feeling of like unfinished business kind of thing. So it's always on my mind. But then COVID happened, so I couldn't make any plans until Tokyo opened up. And then just so happened, startup gave me kind of freedom to pick wherever I want to be. So it's very naturally I want to be coming back to Tokyo to continue living here and then try it out more. So that is really just personal reason. I was prioritizing personal choice over business because to us, maybe Tokyo, is not a good business decision to be living here. So I decided, that was actually part of the reason why I was the one stepping out. And I decided to come here and do my own thing. To me, moving around is nothing new. Also, I kind of got into the motion, the habit to move around. Like if I stay at a place for a very long time, I feel a bit suffocated. I need things to move. So I like the idea of jumping into a country with no connection and then build my life from that point onwards. Yeah. So that's the reason. Like it's very personal, like just a personal mental model and personal choices. Yeah.
So you're not really like think that carefully for like a future. I need to build some millionaire or billionaire business here.
I will agree actually. So I did some self-reflection. Yeah, I don't think my ambition is a very typical like SF ambition. It's like 200% in on this startup. So that's also like the personal trait that led me to this point. I want to like have a good exit, but does it need to be super like maybe on the stock market we go IPO? I don't think that I'm that type. So in a sense, right now where I'm at is like I want to build a very sustainable business, build a personal following, personal brand, and that would be the most fulfilling thing I could do for myself right now. Yeah.
Okay, wait. I know that you are currently in Tokyo and you call yourself an indie hacker.
Yeah.
Like, but is that something you already decided before coming, or is it something you figure out to do here?
No, I think that's after I left my company, that's what I have decided. Especially right now, my new company's direction is still a bit floaty. Like I'm still trying to figure it out. So being solo is probably the best mode to be in because I can move faster. And also I don't have to manage people. I don't have to think about hiring that much. And also it takes, for me, is a good time to practice like marketing, train all the muscles that I need to. And then so later on when I do hire, I actually know how to delegate tasks, how to review. So these are all the important skills I'm trying to train right now. So being an indie hacker, and also I'm not looking for any funding right now. So that's how I call myself. I also call myself solo founder sometimes. I also call myself like design engineer sometimes. It's all okay. Like they're the same to me. It doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Basically, you're working solo for now.
I work solo and I make software.
Yeah.
And that's the only two definitive things you can.
Yeah. So I think it's very different. Like for many of the founders, they are looking for a co-founder to build a business.
Yeah.
And this is something we've been told, like you need to be a team to really get funded for a startup.
Yeah.
So, but I think the minds are different for these. Like we need a co-founder, build a business together with.
Yeah.
So now some of them are like a solopreneur, and they don't want to be, like you said, to manage a team, to manage other delegates. What is the difference? Like, what do you think about differently when you are working in different settings, or what makes you can adapt it to the two different models?
Yeah. I think it's also a personal trait. I do work well in the team setting, but I also am the type that I want to dig deep into something on my own as well. I want to understand the bottom of it. So that made me want to do everything as well. So that's one personal trait. I see that being like a double-edged sword. It's good and bad. The good thing is I understand something deeply, but the bad thing is just sometimes like I don't need to be spending my time on those things. It's always two sides. And also I do miss having a co-founder sometimes. Like my previous co-founder is great. I actually became technical a lot quicker because of him. He let me touch the code base at a time, and then he taught me how to do things. So it's great to be learning from each other and also be supportive. And I went to like some trade shows, and I was there a lot. So I at the time was like, the previous trade show I went to, I had my co-founder with me. That was a great time. So I do miss that sometimes, but I think it's just right now where my head is currently at, and also how I think about building my own business. I think solo is the best way for me. Yeah. I see the benefits on both sides. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I really hope that you can, like you said, learn a lot from this practice of solo.
Yeah.
And maybe you can find your next co-founder and do something more interesting or maybe more
Yeah.
fun together. That way you can leverage your both sides.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I think I'm just not at that stage yet where I'm looking for a co-founder again. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let's have a break.